may qualify for finals to face Mali or France. In life where in the March 18, 2023 governorship election, the appeal court in a unanimous decision dismissed 4 separate appeals filed by Tonye Cole of the All Progressives Congress, Beatrice Itubo of the Labour Party, Innocent Eko of the Allied People's Movement, and Lulu Briggs Dumo of the Accord Party. The court held that the appellants failed to prove the allegation of non-compliance with the Electoral Act and also faulted the tribunal for dismissing Tonye Cole's appeal on the ground that APC was sponsored him and had withdrawn the petition against Governor Fubara's victory. Group under the auspices of the Nigerian Association of the Blind River State Chapter is urging the River State government on conclusion in governance commemorates the World International White Cane and Safety Day across the globe. The significance of the commemoration is to create social awareness and to sensitize the members of the society on the need to heighten their consciousness as concerns the visually impaired in today's society and workplace. Speaking at the event, the convener, Barrister Prince Chigozie Tedious, emphasized governance and other related parastatals in the state.
Today is mapped out as White Cane and Safety Day / Empowerment Program. Today, the guide cane, that is the white cane you see blind persons holding when they are working, is a globally recognized to a blind person. Persons to join us. For those people who don't form the habit of knowing their sight status, whenever they have headache, they call it one name or the other, not knowing that it is one eye challenge or the other. Let them come and test their eyes and then map out an adequate measure to cushion the effect of the eye challenge before it gets worse. In this program, we have mapped out also to empower our members who have acquired skills in one way or the other. That those of our members
it as a direction to cross the road, and when crossing the road, please, because of the condition, the good condition you have, don't rush so that you don't go and fall. Because one, you cannot be escaping one hazard and go and meet another hazard. And first of all, do we know what is hazard? Please, look at them what is hazard. Because I've been using that word. Anything that has potential for them. Please let's go for it. Anything that has potential to cause you what you have. Like this one that you get road, and at the end of the day you don't use your body in it, and this one is hazard. Because if it cause you injury, and what you need to do, you have to remove and you eliminate it, you remove it from the road.
Celebrated annually, and we also do this to tell people to go and check their sight. Anybody can be blind. Like I had measles when I was little. From
December 5th to commence hearing in the lawsuit filed by the factional speaker of the River State House of Assembly, Edison Ehie, seeking to take control of the state legislature. This is coming after Ehie had announced his emergence as speaker following the crisis that rocked the assembly in the wake of the move by the Speaker Martin Amehuele and 23 other lawmakers to impeach Governor Siminalayi Fubara, but Edison Ehie filed a suit praying the court to restrain Amehuele from parading himself as Speaker or presiding over the affairs of the House. While the court had ordered parties to maintain the status quo pending the hearing and determination of Ehie's suit, the court commenced contempt proceedings against Amehuele, alleging that his faction conducted legislative proceedings despite the court's order. Meanwhile, counsel for the first and second defendant, Ferdinando Shoke, prayed the court to consolidate and accelerate hearing on all applications filed in the matter, since the matter borders of the legislative arm of government. While Justice Phoebe Alia adjourned the case in the interests of any ethnic group in the state, Aaron, while speaking in Port Harcourt, said those who walked against Governor Siminalayi Fubara during the election are now trying to come through the back door to cause problems. Nigerian Army 6th Division Port Harcourt has confirmed the death of a soldier in a boat mishap that occurred on the Bolo waterway in Ogubolo local government area of Rivers State. The acting Deputy Governor, 6th Division Army Public Relations Major Danjuma Jonah, in a statement, said the soldier was killed while on active duty, adding that a gunboat carrying the late soldier was hit by a turbulent wave which threw him overboard and he was nowhere to be found. The statement said a search and rescue mission was launched, which led to the recovery of the soldier's lifeless body and the boats involved in the accident. According to the statement, Jonah said the late soldier paid a supreme sacrifice in the defense of his fatherland and service to humanity, adding that Nigerian Army would greatly miss him. High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has granted bail to a former chairman of Ahoda East Local Government Area, Kasidi Ikebidi, Amona, Ngozi Onugo, and 5 others. They are standing trial over the murder of the divisional oath, the order new currency to continue to serve as a legal tender in the country, noting that any attempt to act otherwise would plunge the country back into its economic crisis experienced during the cashless policy era of the former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. Abia State Government Culture Prince Oke Kanu, who stated this, the outcome of this week's State Executive Council meeting presided over by Governor Alex Oti is that all workers in the state ought to have been verified by now, having extended the verification exercise by 2 weeks. He also said the verification exercise started in July, but informed that there are still some workers who have yet to participate in the exercise, adding that the names of the unverified staff had been put up in the MDAs and they are expected to submit their documents to the heads of establishments, who would in turn hand over the same to the verification committee. According to him, the government has set a target date for compliance, and those committed to meeting the standards would be reopened, adding that government is carrying out reforms to set certain standard target base to ensure that while all the schools in the state are complying, but those in the private sectors have not committed themselves in such a manner, adding that the major reason government decided to shut down those schools is principally because of their substandard in their curriculum and quality of teachers, and some of them because of environment. Imo State Police Command have arrested 18 suspected members of the indigenous people of Biafra in connection with the killings of 2 officers at Ahera Junction in Yahazu Umbise local government area of the state. The spokesperson for the police command, Henry Okoye, said the 2 officers killed in the incidents have been identified as the divisional police officer of Ahiazu Umbise and an inspector, adding that the police operatives fought gallantly, but unfortunately the DPO and an inspector of police had the supreme prize in the gun duel that ensued while the police officers survived the attack. The security operatives were quickly reinforced by the military led by the brigade commander, 34 Artillery Brigade Obinze, to nab the suspects. Commissioner for Transportation in Lagos, Oluwaseun Oshiemi, along with Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Wale Musa, have ordered the destruction of 1,500 seized motorcycles on the Lagos State Task Force premises in Oshodi. The Lagos State government posted images of the exercise on its X account, adding that the Lagos State government had banned the operation of commercial motorcycles, popularly called Okada, on major highways, and the exercise was not unconnected to the recent renewed clampdown by the state government on Okada operators who forcefully returned to the roads. The Director of Public Affairs for the Lagos State Task Force, Badeyan Abdurrahim, had reiterated in October that Okada had been banned in the state, but that enforcement had been difficult because of Lagos's closeness to Ogun State. Lagos State Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, has issued a 7-day contravention notice to owners of buildings on Orchard Road, Agungi, Ajiran Conservation Road, Asapa, all along the Ikoto River. The Director of Public Affairs, Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources, Kunle Adesina, who disclosed this in an X post on Monday in Lagos. Adesina said Wahab disclosed this alongside the special advisor to the governor on environmental Olakunle Rotimi Akodo after an inspection tour of the Ikota River corridor. He added that the inspection tour was to ascertain the level of compliance by property owners whose buildings and fences fall within the approved 7-meter setback on both sides of the channel, and urged the residents to respect the state drainage master plan to avoid property demolition. He stressed that there was no going back on the decision of the state to enforce the law and reclaim drainage setbacks following the expiration of the notices issued, adding that the Nigerian Conservation Foundation had earlier written a petition complaining about several distortion, that there had been a lot of distortion on their road and affected the natural habitat of animals in the foundation as well as on Orchard Road, where a lot of damage had been done to the drainage channel designed to take stormwater from the communities into the lagoon. He called for the full participation of citizens in governance as well as full participation by the communities and governmental bodies at all levels to achieve great improvements in the environmental sanitation, maintenance, and sustainable environment. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has cautioned members of the National Youth Service Corps deployed to the state to see the scheme as a stepping stone towards actualizing their dreams and aspirations. He gave the caution while delivering his address at the swearing-in and opening ceremony of the NYSC 2023 Batch C Stream 2 at the Permanent Orientation Camp, a day represented by the Commissioner for Youth, Mushood Olagunju Adeleke, also reminded the Corps members that being youths made them Nigeria's most valuable resources, while urging the Corps members to pursue the rights, knowledge, and commitment to achieve excellence. He also urged the Corps members to be law-abiding, embrace peaceful coexistence, and avoid useful exuberance. Earlier in his address, the Osun NYSC State Coordinator Agbo Ndoma Obim said about 2,389 Corps members were deployed to the state for the youth service, adding that the success of service here will depend on your attitude, discipline, and commitment. Ogun State Police Command has arrested 3 of the suspected armed robbers involved in an operation where some polytechnic students were raped last week. The Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alamutu, who spoke through a statement signed by the command spokesperson, SP Omolola Odutola, said the command will not rest until it reads the status of criminals, adding that the arrest was a significant progress in apprehending suspected armed robbers raping and robbing students around Ode, Remo, and Ipara areas of Ogun State. This is coming after a group of unknown gunmen had last week invaded the Gateway Polytechnic, Sapade, Isara, Ode, Remo, raping students and disposing them of their belongings, but a victim of their last robbery operation identified one out of the 3-man gang of young men terrorizing Gateway Polytechnics. Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has sacked Suleiman Wanchenko of the People's Democratic Party as the winner of the Bida 1 North State constituency election in Niger and declared Bako Kasim of the All Progressives Congress as the winner of the poll. The 3-member panel, while delivering the judgment through Justice Bachire Isagafai, held that Wanchenko's appeal was unmeritorious, while the appellate court agreed with Kasim's counsel, Johnson Usman, SAN, that Wanchenko, having presented a forged testimonial to the Independent National Electoral Commission, ought to be disqualified from contesting the election. This is coming after INEC had declared Wanchenko the winner of the Bida 1 North constituency poll for the Niger State House of Assembly election conducted on March 18th, while Kashim filed a petition on the grounds that Wanchenko was not qualified to contest the elections, in that he submitted a forged testimonial to INEC and the election was invalid by reason of non-compliance with the Electoral Act 2022. At the end of the trial, the tribunal found merit in the petitioner's argument and disqualified Wanchenko and ordered a rerun without him. Not satisfied with the judgment of the tribunal, Wanchenko, through his counsel, Aliyu Lemo, SAN, approached the Court of Appeal, praying the court to set aside the decision of the tribunal, but Kasim's lawyer urged the court to dismiss the appeal and return his client as the winner of the election, while the appellate court upheld Usman's argument that with Wanchenko having been disqualified, the proper order was to return Kashim as the winner of the poll and directed INEC to each of the suspected quarters who murdered their victims were also apprehended at Benway Links Motor Park in a bid to escape from Makodi town. Special advisor to the Governor on Security and Internal Affairs, Chief Joseph Ha, said it took the combined efforts of security agencies, including the volunteer guards, to prevent the suspected cultists from being lynched to death by irate mob, adding that the suspects had been handed over to the police for interrogation and prosecution. Sokoto State Governor Ahmed Aliyu has described the Court of Appeal's judgment upholding his election as a testimony of an unbiased Nigerian judiciary. A statement shortly after the appellate court in Abuja of the governorship election petition tribunal, reaffirming his victory at the 2023 polls, and described the court judgment as clearly demonstrating to the world that Nigeria's judiciary is unbiased, just, and fair. The statement signed by his media aide, Abubakar Bawa, the governor reassured the people of the state of his administration unwavering determination to deliver the needed dividends of democracy and promised to provide an enabling environment that will guarantee the needed development in the state. He also thanked the people of the state for their support and their fervent prayers to his administration, which has helped greatly in achieving the myriad of successes so far recorded in the state, and further solicited more fervent prayers, suggestions, and constructive criticisms aimed at making Sokoto State better. This is coming after the People's Democratic Party in Sokoto State and its candidate, Saadu Umar, having lost at the governorship election petition tribunals, filed a petition at the appellate court challenging the verdict that upheld the victory of Aliyu at the last election. Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has dismissed the Deputy Speaker of the Bauchi State House of Assembly, Jamilu Umaru Dahiru Barede of the People's Democratic Party. The three-man panel of justices in its judgment said the nullified judgment of the Bauchi State House of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal, which had initially confirmed Barade as the duly elected representative for Bauchi Central State constituency, while the panel ordered rerun elections in some polling units in the constituency where the appellant Aliyu Abdullahi Ilela of the All Progressive Congress alleged overvoting. The court ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to retrieve the certificate of return earlier issued to the Deputy Speaker and conduct a rerun election in the affected polling units. This is coming out a few days after the appellate court sacked the Speaker of the House, Abubakar Suleiman. Jigawa State Governor Malam Umar Namadi is not particularly happy with the rising kidnappings and has expressed concerns about the poor security network in the state. The governor disclosed this while receiving the newly posted Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ahamadu Abdullahi, at Government House Thursday when he paid him a courtesy visit, adding that in the last 2 weeks the security situation worsened to a level where people were kidnapped. Malam Umar Namadi maintained there is need to work together to ensure that crime is radically prevented and is no longer happening, adding that security is everybody's business, and as a government it will do all it takes to give all the necessary support to ensure the government and security operatives succeed in their assignment. He also said that the ugly development after the redeployment of immediate past Commissioner of Police in the state, who was promoted to the rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police. Earlier, the state's Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ahamadu Abdullahi, promised to build on the achievements of his predecessor to sustain the high level of security being enjoyed in many parts of the state, adding that the state command plans to introduce new strategies in tackling crime and criminality while working with other security agencies to ensure amicable synergy between them towards achieving a peaceful environment in the state. Chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Olabode George, has rejected the decision of judges to nullify elections and declare winners, describing it as an opposition to the popular choice of the electorate. PDP chieftain, who disclosed this while reacting to the reported discrepancy in the certified true copy of the Court of Appeal judgment on the Kano State governorship election, said it was worrisome that the citizens could no longer trust the judiciary. George, who spoke on behalf of the Lagos PDP Elders Council at a press conference in Lagos, described the Kano situation as a recipe for anarchy in the country, adding that though they were upright judges, they were being overshadowed by the corrupt ones, and when the judiciary is compromised one way or the other in a democratic system, then democracy is gone. Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa and Yaga Africa have advised Nigerians to reduce the widespread criticisms against the Independent National Electoral Commission and the judiciary over the outcome of the 2023 general elections, tribunal and appeal court rulings in some of the post-election matters, adding that the trend is against democracy and its survival. Leading activist and chairman of the group, Chief Ezenwa Nwagu, who disclosed this in Abuja over various issues bordering on the outcome of the elections and recent court judgments making the news across the country decried the veiled attacks, saying those who have chosen the path of criticizing INEC and the judiciary are not doing so out of patriotism or in the interest of improvement, but to bring the institutions into opprobrium. He also said, after the election, the narrative has shifted from not just criticizing the outcome of the election, but really delegitimizing the election and the institutions that make competitive enterprise important, and who disclosed at the special court session to mark a new legal year and swearing in of a new senior advocates of Nigeria. In Abuja, also said most cases should end at the Court of Appeal, stressing that the appellate court was competent and well equipped to adjudicate effectively on most matters. He urged Nigerians not to take every dispute to court, stressing that not all appeals should be brought to the apex court, and giving corrupt advantages to one Sadatu Yaro, a staff of the CBN. As expected, the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria was brought to court from Kuje prison under tight security to face his trial. The Prosecution Counsel, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, informed the court of 3 witnesses to testify at the Tuesday's proceedings. The witnesses were led in evidence by counsel to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and counsel to the defendant. Not only that, both counsels have tendered evidence before the court in respect of Emefiele's count charge. In a bid to enhance understanding of the provisions of Discriminations Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act 2018 in the rural communities, the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and the Leprosy Mission Nigeria has launched a translated and simplified version of the Disability Act in Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. The simplified version of the Act, which has been translated into 3 major languages, is geared towards orientating the persons with disabilities in rural communities about their rights and how it is protected by the Constitution, as well as how to pursue them. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, Mr. James Lalu, while speaking to newsmen after the official launch in Abuja, said the launching of the Act will equip people with disabilities with more information.
The National Orientation Age
of what is going on.
Why? Because it's not everybody that can speak English. And look at the act now. You can take the gazette, you can read, but you will not understand. What will the common man that is living in the rural area? But this version, and Yoruba,
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu will on Wednesday present the 2024 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly. This came as the Federal Executive Council on Monday approved the 2024 appropriation bill of 27 trillion naira, which is an increase from the 26 trillion naira earlier considered by the Council. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, will disclose the approval after the close of FEC's weekly meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. While disclosing that the federal government is projecting 18 trillion naira revenue for the 2024 fiscal year, Bagudu said further details of the appropriation bill will be released when the president presented it to a joint session of the National Assembly on Wednesday, adding that the medium-term expenditure. President Bola Tinubu has informed the Senate of his intention to present the 2024 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly tomorrow, Wednesday, November 29 by 11 a.m. Tinubu's letter was read by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, during plenary on Tuesday. Correspondent Rotimi reports.
The well-anticipated 2024 appropriation bill will be presented to the National Assembly in a joint session on Wednesday. The President, with this gesture, is perceived to be committed to the January to December budget cycle as laid down by the previous administration. In his letter, President Tinubu craved the indulgence of the lawmakers to present the 2024 budget at a joint session of the Senate and House of Representatives.
Distinguished Senate President, presentation to grant me the slot of 1100 hours on Wednesday, the 29th day of November 2023. While I look forward to addressing the joint session, please accept, distinguished Senate President and distinguished senators, the assurances. So tomorrow, Wednesday,